What year did this happen to? The first television is invented. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go pretty early for this one. I know that in the 20s there was like silent movies and also probably around the 10s as well. But television obviously is a little bit more smaller scale. I'm gonna go 1920 though, let's go for it. And it is 1923, so that's a pretty good start. All right, we've lost 3 lives. Let's see how far we get. Pong is released. Oh, okay, so I think Pong is basically considered like the first ever video game or arcade game. And then I know there was a lot of popular arcade games like springing up in the 80s, but I think for Pong to be the very first one, I'm gonna go kind of the previous decade, 1974. Let's go for it. 72. We're doing quite well, you know. All it takes is one terrible round though. Google is founded. I may have done this one before. I think it's do I want to go early 2000s or late 90s? Google is founded. I think late 90s, like 1998. Let's go. Oh, what a run we're on. Oh no, this is where it goes downhill. The first Nobel Prizes are awarded. So this is a one where like I could easily be 20 years out. I think this is an early thing. I am thinking, well, Marie Curie, she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and I'm sure she was around kind of the 10s or the 20s, and that was first woman, not first person. So I think I go early. I'm gonna go 1906, but honestly, I'm not really sure. Let's see. 1901. So that's the earliest this game allows. 5 years out, so we still have 90 lives. And we've got a score of 3. Come on, let's get to double figures. Bubblegum is invented. Oh, I don't know. This could easily be like 30 years out. Do I want to go 50s? I feel like I could see bubblegum being around in the 50s. People chewing on gum. But it's not even chewing gum, is it? It's specifically bubblegum. Yeah, I'm going to go 1956, but honestly, no clue. So let's see. Ah, see, just like that, we have lost like a third of our lives. 28 years out. 1928. What am I still with bubblegum for in 1928? Oh, it was all going so well. Alas, we continue. Velcro is invented. Ooh, Velcro is invented. Have I got any Velcro in my office? I actually do. There's a Velcro strap wrapped around me microphone. Look at this. You ready? Oh, listen to that Velcro sound. Wow. All right, that's a tricky one. Pretty genius, to be fair, Velcro. I think it's going to be quite early on because it's primitive technology, basically, right? I mean, they're messing around with bubblegum in 1928, so do I go early? Trying to think, like, any examples of Velcro. Maybe it's way later. Like, Velcro shoes. Everyone that you ever see from, like, this whole half, they've got shoelaces. But just because it was invented doesn't mean it was, like, massively used. I don't know. I kind of want to just go around the middle and hedge my bets. Nah, let's go crazy. Let's go with 30s. Let's go between the world wars, 1933. I should have gone after the World War. It's all going downhill. All right, we now have officially less than half of the lives we started with. The Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm so bad at these kind of things. I don't know. It sounds Cold War sort of thing, maybe. So like 50s, 60s. I don't know anything about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I didn't even know they'd had a missile crisis. I'll go 65. And it's literally just a guess. 62. Okay, good. Ooh, J.R.R. Tolkien publishes The Hobbit. Right, so think about this. So the first Lord of the Rings films, they came out around this time. The Hobbit came out like somewhere around here, I think. I'm not sure. But the books were probably written more around this area, I think. I know Christopher Lee is the only person within the Lord of the Rings films who's actually met Tolkien. And Christopher Lee was pretty old. But this isn't where Tolkien was born. This is when he published The Hobbit. I think it's 30s. Yeah, I'll go 34 and let's click confirm. 37. Nice. 3 years out. That's good. We're still alive, you know. We've got a score of 7. Come on, double figures. The Supreme Court decides Brown versus Board of Education ordering the end to racial segregation in public schools. Ooh, okay. So when did racial segregation in public schools end? I mean, racism's obviously been an issue throughout this entire 100-year period. I think 70s is maybe... I'd be surprised if it was 70s. And I'd be surprised if it was late 60s too. I know 1960 is when the British Empire stopped controlling a lot of African countries. But they still caused a lot of problems for the black people people in those countries. So white people were probably still thought of as more of a priority. So I think that pushes us back towards maybe 1970. Let's go 1968. And I'm just kind of hoping for the best. 54. So it's actually quite a bit earlier than I thought. I mean, I'm sure minorities were still treated very differently in schools for a very long time after that. But that has taken me down to just 27 lives remaining. The vacuum cleaner's invented. Ooh, that's a tough one too. I think it's going to be, I mean, I'm trying to think about electricity. So 1901 is when Queen Victoria died, and that symbolizes the end of the Victorian times. And yeah, they did have electricity on like the latter half of Victorian times, but actual kind of household electric items that are portable, it's got to push it back to at least around this area. I think 30s. Do you think we had planes before we had vacuum cleaners? Probably, to be fair. I'll go 1932. Let's go for it. And that's it. My lives are gone. It was 1901, and I even specified 1901. So Queen Victoria dies, and then out pops a vacuum cleaner same time. They were like, yeah, that's the end of the Victorian times. Let's bring in some technology. Okay. We're going again. Don't hit me with the not bad. But you know what? I can do better. Thank you. World's population reaches 6 billion. Okay, so it's only on 8 billion now. I think that is 2000s, early 2000s. Could we have had 2 billion people in the last 20 years? Absolutely. We could. I'm going to go 2003. Let's see. 1999. So quite close, but not close enough. Let's do the next one. The Kent State shootings occur during student protests which grow violent. Well, that sounds horrible. I have no idea on this one. It's not something that I've heard of. Kent State, is that in the USA somewhere? We'll go. I don't even know what they'd be protesting about, so I just have no indicator of where I should be going. Do you think we go 60s? 66? Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. 1970, so quite close. So the protests were opposing the expanding involvement of the Vietnam War into Cambodia by the United States military forces. The National Guard soldiers fired about 67 rounds, which killed 4 students and wounded 9 others. Well, that's absolutely horrible. Moving on, the US dollar is no longer backed by gold and becomes fiat currency. I think I might have had this one in the last video as well, and I just do not remember. I'd like to go somewhere around this area. So it'll be when banks are like well established and they realize that actually they don't need to have a connection with gold. I'm gonna go 1926 and let's see what happens. That's a rough one. 1973. Well, I was totally wrong. Bloody hell. 47 years. That hurts. I don't even want to keep going. I'm restarting this game. A fresh start. The Soviet Union comes to an end. I don't know. 1992. Is that when? I think that's when Yugoslavia split up. And I assume there are some knock-on effects from the Soviet Union. Honestly, I'm just kind of guessing stuff here. I'm going to go back a bit from there. I'm going to go with 1985. And let's see. I was on it. I was literally on it. But it's all right. It's only 6 points. The first Nobel Prize are awarded. Bing! Oh, it was 1901, wasn't it? I just lost such an unnecessary life. The Treaty of Versailles is signed. I think that's after World War II. So that ends 1945. I think it's actually the same year. I'm going to go for it. I'm getting confused. It was after World War I, it turns out. That's actually quite a bit of damage at this early stage in the game. Alas, we continue. Toy Story's released. I can do that one. That is, I think, 1995. I was born 1996. I loved Toy Story. Still do. Did it exist slightly before I did? Maybe. I mean, I'm going to be like 1 or 2 years out. I think it's 1995, but it might. It might be 97. I don't think it's 96. Yeah, I'm going to go 95. Let's see. Nice. Beautiful. I knew it. Gotta trust myself. I know Toy Story. The 18th Amendment is passed, establishing the prohibition in the US. That's like... it's got to be like around here, right? I go like 09? Yeah, why not? Let's see. 1917. 8 years more than I'd like to lose. Hitler invades the Soviet Union. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's got to be during World War II, right? Which was 1939 to 1945. So, do we go early? Like right at the start? Or do we go towards the end? So, just trying to think about his position. Yeah, we'll go 1942, and then it's kind of in the middle. Let's see. 41. Very, very close. Cool. The World Health Organization is founded. So, this feels like something that would be founded after a big outbreak of some kind, and they're like, we need to have something set up for next time. But I don't really know any big outbreaks other than the one that happened in 2019. I think it's quite early, you know. I'm gonna go 1930, and let's see. 48. That's actually a little bit later. Come on, I just want to get to 10 lives. F. Scott Fitzgerald publishes The Great Gatsby. Oh, I don't know. I'm almost like, do I just leave it at 1930? I think I do. Let's go for it. 1925. That was a perfectly acceptable thing to do. Volkswagen is founded. Now, I know this has ties to the Nazi party, right? So, based on that, I'm going to go like late 30s. I'm going to go 1937. Let's see. I'm a genius. We have 35 lives, and I just need 2 more to actually get a new high score. The first color television is produced. Oh, I've forgotten all the TV ones. It was in the start of this video. The first television's made, and it was... I don't remember. I literally can't remember. First color television produced. So just because it's produced doesn't mean it's commercially available. I'm gonna go 1955, and I'm gonna click confirm. 53. Nice. Very close. Come on, we've got this. Malcolm X dies. I don't know. I actually have no clue. Was he assassinated? I'm not sure. When was it? I don't know either. I think I'm going to go 1967. 65. We're actually doing quite well. So, I've got a new high score, and we've still got 30 lives left. The Pentagon is completed. It's quite a modern-looking building, right? Maybe late 80s? Yeah, 1988. Why not? Screwed that one up. And just like that, it is over for me. But we scored 11, which means we are finally above average. Yes! I will take it. Maybe we can play this a 3rd time, and I will manage to get a good grade. That's all I want in life. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you click like on this video so the YouTube algorithm knows that it's good and I should do more of them. All right, I'll see you later.